morning, class. Okay, I think before start our class, can you pick some garbages? Can you clean your surroundings, please? I'll give you 10 seconds to clean the mess. 1, 2, 3. Okay, tamol-mol, where you are sitting, can you help your classmate? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I think you're done. And can you go back to your seats and settle down yourself first? Okay. Please stand. Let's have a first prayer. So let's bow down our head and let's bow ourselves to the presence of God. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and dear God, thank you for this day, a wonderful day, and a blessing that you provide to us. And I hope, dear God, that this session will reign the peace and harmony. Amen. And in the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. So good morning once again, class. Okay, can you sit down? Please sit down. Before we start our class, I will check your attendance first. Let's just say present when your name is called. Okay? Janison, are you there? Okay, very good. Tamulmol. Okay. Parody? Thank you. Juan. You. Skimberdo. Skimberdo is around? Okay. Spatitol. Okay, good. Thank you. Cynthia. Are you there, Cynthia? Oh yes, very good, Cynthia. Your present. Your attendance complete. A. Aaron. Okay. Thank you, Mr. A. Aaron. D. Nice. Are you there, D. Nice? Oh yes, you are. Thank you. And Soledad. Okay. I think your attendance are all complete. So please give a round of applause. Thank you, class. So before we dive into our discussion, our new discussion, I will ask you about our discussion yesterday, if you still remember to your mind. So, Miss Tamulmol, can you please stand, Tamulmol? I have some question to you. What have you learned about our discussion yesterday about forming the fraction into percent? What have you learned? Okay, very good, Mr. Tamulmol. You understand our discussion yesterday. Who else? Who have an idea? Who have an understanding about yesterday's discussion? Okay, Miss. What's your name? I forgot. Be nice. Do you have an idea? Be nice? Yes. Yes, very good. In order to form the fraction into percent, you should apply division and multiplication. First, you should do a multiplication and apply multiplication by 100, which is you obtain the proper form percent of the fraction. So, I have another last question. So, what is the percent of 1/2? Okay, Mr. Suelel, what is your answer? Oh yes, very good. The percent fraction of the 1/2 is 50%. Very good. Give a round of applause to yourself. Yourselves, very good. So now, before we finally dive into our discussion, I have an activity first. So I call this toss coin. I call this a toss coin. Okay. This is our possible outcomes. Place there. Place there. As you can see, this is our possible outcomes. When I toss this one coins 3 times in simultaneously. When I toss this one coins, there's a possible outcomes. Here are the possible outcomes. So we have head, 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 tail, head, tail, head, tail, head, head, tail, tail, head, tail, head, tail, and lastly, tail, tail, tail. So all you need to do is you should get can you get 1/4 sheet of paper and write your name first, of course. This is the most important all. And just write which among of them are our final result. Okay? All you need to do is to write and choose one of them as your final result. When I toss this 1.3 times, and when you got right, of course, you will obtain a score from me, which is, let's say, I will give you 20 points when you kapag nakatama kayo sa pag-toss ko ng coin na ito, okay? You have 2 minutes to do this. Pili na kayo kung nasaan dito. Kung sa tingin nyo head-headed ang lalabas, hindi isulat nyo sa inyong 1/4 of sheet of paper. Kung sa tingin nyo head-head naman, isulat nyo. Ang maaari nyo lang isulat ay isa lang, okay? Only one that you are probably right in your paper, okay? Mr. Tamulmul, where are you on? Saan ka pupunta, Mr. Tamulmul? Bumalik ka dito, Mr. Tamulmul. Parode. Huwag kang mayangay dyan, parode. Focus kayo sa papel nyo. I think tapos naman nata kayo. Kanina ipasa nyo ng papel sa akin. Okay, thank you. Oh, may iba't ibang mga sinulat kayo. Si Mr. Parody, ang kanyang resulta is, sabi niya rito, head daw. Triple head daw yung ano niya, resulta. Gusto niya yung final outcome natin is head daw. At kang Miss Denies naman, head yung result niya. Okay, tingnan natin. Sino sa inyo ang may tama? Okay, sisimulan ko na ang pag-toss ng coins. I will toss these coins 3 times in simultaneously. Okay? Watch and learn. That is 1 attempt. Let's see what would be the first outcome. So our first outcome is head. Okay, walang walang daya. Head. Head ang ating unang resulta. Dito. Head. Head. Second toss. Again, sinsa nyo kaya may tama. Head naman. Oh, muntik na. Si Miss Denies, yung sagot niya, sabi niya, head daw. Okay. Triple head. So, ito na yung pangalawang toss natin, okay? Our last toss coins. At malalaman nyo na kung ano ang kasunod nito. Head, tail ba? Or, ang kasunod nito ay head. Ito na yun yung ang magkalaban, yung head at saka head, tail. Alam naman natin yung dalawang magkasunod, head yung result ng ating dalawang attempt na pag-toss ng coin. So ito yung last. Nasaan kayo sa dalawang ito, mga students? Sino kaya sa dalawang yan ang maaaring resulta? Okay, sisimulan na. Tang, tadadang. Sino kasi ninyo ang may tama? At ating resulta ay tail. Ito ang ating panghuling pag-flip ng coin. At ang ating final result ay head, tail. Wala sa inyo nakakuha ng 4 coins, but it's okay. At least you tried your best to guess what would be the possible outcome. So, thank you for your cooperation. So let's go to our discussion. So let me ask you first one thing is, class, let me ask you first one thing. What is probability for you? What is probability for you, Mr. Skimberdo? What is your idea? You don't have idea? How about potato? Do you have an idea? You have. Hey, Aaron. Do you have an idea, Aaron? Yes, you have an idea. Yes. Almost right. The probability is the probability is the is a situation that it could be possible happen in the future. When you're expecting that things to be happen, then it must be happen. That is the probability. Mayroong mga probability, it means there is a may posibleng mangyayari. Yun ang probability. So in the probability class, there are 4 parts in the probability. So let us know about what are those 4. Okay, let's first introduce. So this flip chart, our first part of probability as our introductory is we have experiment. So class, what is experiment? Mr. Aaron, I think you're a genius. Can you please stand? What is Aaron? What is experiment? I mean, you experiment in something like a frog. You're dissecting a frog. Nag-opera ka ng frog. Yung bang experiment? Tama naman yung may experiment. Tama naman yung ibig sabihin. Pero na probability is different. In the aspect of probability, the meaning of experiment is different. But all in all, has the same meaning. But in a probability, we are experimenting some object that we think that we can obtain a possible result with that. Okay? So thank you, Mr. Aaron, for your wonderful idea. So let's know what is experiment. When? Okay. Now, the experiment is a process of investigation from which results are observed or recorded. So what are the examples of experiment when in terms of probability? I will show you some objects. What are the possible examples as part of experiment? So before I'll show you the picture that consider as the example of an experiment, I'll ask you, do you have an idea? Can you name some object that you think as part of the experiment, as part of the example of the experiment? I know there's a lot of experiment there, but I will ask you one experiment only. Mr. Janison, do you have an answer, or do you have an idea about an experiment, one object that you can conclude that it is a part of experiment? Yes, that's right. Playing or rolling dice is one of the examples of experiment. So without further ado, I will show you the object that could be possible as part of the experiment. So alright. I think my laptop is now off. Okay. This is our first object, which is tossing coin. That is what we played lately. Okay? Yung nilaro natin is part pala yun ng experiment, which is tossing coin. That is one of the example of experiment. Yes. Another one. We have another one. This one. Rolling a dice. You already know what is rolling a dice. This is a rolling a dice class. Okay, this is a rolling a dice. This is one example of experiment. Another one. Picking a card from a standard check of cards. You know what is card? Yung braha. Alam nyo yung braha, di ba? But literally speaking, all in all, the numbers of cards are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 numbers only that involved in the cards. It's braha. But nagiging 52 yun kasi may iba't ibang mga shape katulad ng mga iba't ibang object katulad ng diamond, speed, kamunggay, at saka yung heart. Nagiging 4 yan at nagiging 52 yan lahat kasi Multiply mo yung 4 objects sa 13, which is the main numbers of the car. So, naging 52 siya. Yan, alam niyo na, ha? Alam niyo na. Sa alas, ang ibig sabihin ng alas, or in English ng alas, is. So, and the value of is 1. So, in 1, there's 4 figures, which is 4 shape or object, which is diamond, as what I've said lately, diamond, heart, kamunggay, at saka yung diamond. Okay. Another one, choosing a ball from a box. So, parang ano yan eh, parang puhulaan mo kung ano yung resulta ng box. Mamaya, lalaruin natin to. Okay, class, can you fasten your seatbelt and prepare yourself for the next activity, okay? Lalaruin natin to mamaya. Second is drawing a ball in lottery. Yes. Alam niyo naman to, di ba, yung loto is part pala ng experiment or part pala ng probability yung lottery. Kapag ano yung lumalabas na bula, yun ang maaaring resulta. Sample, kapag lumalabas among 100 numbers, kapag in selecting 5 only, kapag lumalabas yung 1, 10, 11, 16, 20, yun ang mga resulta na maaaring natin piliin kasi yun ang lumabas sa game na ito. Yan. Wala na pala. Okay. So I think you already know what are the experiment. I know there's a lot of experiment, but I only select well-known, only most popular, that you never hard to dissect it and understand what it's all about. So therefore, I choose only the most popular only. Okay, so we're done about explaining the experiment. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Our next is outcome. Outcome is a part of probability also, students. So, I will ask you again, Mr. Spatitol. Parang parang pantom ka, hindi ka ang hirap mong matandaan, Spatitol, parang pantom ka. Okay, tumaya ka, Mr. Spatitol. Ano ang ibig sabihin ng outcome para sa'yo? Yes, tama ka, kalalabasan at kamala. Of course, it's very comprehensional naman, no? Outcome. Again, without further ado, I will introduce you what is outcome and what is the purpose of outcome in the probability. I'll show you what is outcome in the probability. Tarang! Napakagaran itong instructional materials ko, Okay. Ang ibig sabihin ng outcome is the possible result of an experiment. So, I'll give you an example. Our game lately. This one are the example of outcome. Okay? These are the possible outcome from the experiment we are trying to observe. So this is our possible outcome. Because according to the definition, is the possible result of an experiment. So, tossing a coin 3 times, simultaneously, there are possible outcomes that might be head, or might be head, tail, or either head, tail, or else tail, head, or di kaya naman tail, head, or tail, tail. Kapag siniswerte, lalabas talaga yung triple tail, which is triple tail. But in our games, lately, our final result is head, tail. So this is our sample space. So let me introduce you what is sample space. Sample space, the definition of the sample space is The sample space is the set of all possible outcome for a probability experiment or activity. So, therefore, this is our sample space, which is the final result among the possible outcomes. This is our sample space. Because according to the definition again, is the set of all possible outcomes. So nakaset na pala. So, ito yung mga nakaset. Pero kailangan talaga yung pumili kung saan sa kanila yung the best result. So, alam niyo na yung sample space. Alam niyo na yung sample space. Who can give an idea what is sample space? Mr. Swellel, do you have an idea? Oh, where does he have an idea? You're so genius, Mr. Swellel. I like you. So, the last part of the probability is is event. So what is event? Pesta, birthday, yes, it's an event. Wedding, bunyag, Pasko, New Year, Chinese New Year, what else? Celebrating a natal day. That is an event. But I will ask you, what is our event here? Our games a while ago. So what is our event? Mr. Parody, what is your event in our games a while ago? Palipad-lipad ng coins. Tama naman yun. Pero I want a specific idea. What is our event? Who can give a specific idea about our games a while ago? Oh yes, Mr. Juan. Oh yes. Tossing a coin 3 times. That is our event, which is tossing a coin 3 times. Very good, Mr. Juan. So, let me know what is, I will let you know what is event of my instruction was go with you. So, event is, the meaning of event from the probability is the subset of all possible outcome or sample space of experiment. Therefore, event is a subset of all possible outcome. Therefore, siya mismo yung kumakatawan. Kumakatawan ito. Ano ba talagang pangalan ng larong ito? O ano bang ginagawa natin dito ngayon? Yun pala ang ibig sabihin ng event, which is the event is the one to describe what we are doing, what we are playing, and what we are observing. In order to us to know what is it. Kasi mahirap naman maglaro, hindi natin alam, di ba? Kaya ito pala yung purpose ng event, to determine what we are doing. So, that's all are the parts of the probability. That's 4 are the part of the probability are considered as the introduction of probability. Who can, if you still remember our discussion, who can enumerate the 4 parts of probability? Okay, Mr. Juan, what are the 4 parts of the probability as introductory or introduction of probability? Yes, we have an experiment, outcome, sample space, and lastly, we have event. Good, very good that you are listening and that you are not passive students. Okay, now, I have an activity for you, okay? But, before I will introduce an activity, the second activity we have, I want you to group into 4, okay? I want you to group into 4. I will give you a freedom to select which kung sino ba talaga yung gusto mong maging grupo, okay? 4 groups only lang. I will give you 1 minute to have a group. Just for groups, and introduce your groups. Okay? Name it, or if you want. Much better if you have a name to your group, okay? Just name your group, and just when I call your group, introduce some yells, okay, to determine that that is your group. Example, we are the group 1, which is the angel group. Boom, boom, ganun. Mga ganun mga yells. Okay, I will give you 1 minute to have a group. Your time starts now. O saan ka pupunta tamulmol? Dapat magkakaroon, wag kang ano-ano. Ikaw talaga ano mo talaga bata ka, napaka-mischievous mo. Sino bang kagrupo mo? O, Juan, saan ka pupunta, Juan? Huwag kang mag-ano-ano dyan, Juan, ha? Behave. Okay, I think we're done. So, let's begin our activity. So first, where is the group 1? Okay, group 1, introduce yourself. You have 10 seconds to introduce your group. Okay, go ahead, introduce your group. Okay, palakpakan, yes. Where's the group though? Introduce your group. Group of Tamulmul. Ako tatawag. Tamulmul. Okay, thank you. Group of Tamulmul. Group 3. Where's the group 3? Oh. Ay, napaka-harmony talaga ng group ni Ignacio. At saka yung group nyo, parang manajusa talaga yung grupo nila. For group wisdom. So, group 4. Nasaan yung group 4? Nagsasama naman yung classmate nila. Oh, thank you, group 4. So, I think you already have a group. Can you settle down yourself? Group 1 must be pleasure. Group 2, there, group 3, and group 4. Dito lang guys sa gilid, group 4, group 1 doon. Okay. What do you think our activity is all about now? Do you have an idea what is our activity? Oh, you don't have. Because I'm not yet introduced it. So our activity now is, I call this Guess Me. Okay? Guess Me. This activity, I have 15 numbers in the box. Okay? I have 15 numbers in the box. All I need to do is to pick randomly. Randomly, I will pick 5 numbers randomly. Okay. All you need to do is to have cooperation and teamwork to select which numbers or 5 digit na sabi sa'yo pa, yung gisabutan, kanang 5 digit na yung gisabutan, dapat magkakaroon talaga kayo ng cooperation. Dapat ito ang maaaring resulta. Ito yung maaaring lumabas sa pag-take ng numero just 5 selection randomly. Ito yun. Ganon. Dapat magkakaroon talaga kayo ng magandang komunikasyon, how to socialize people, okay? Hindi dapat yung kanilig untok ang number ng tao. Hindi dapat gano'n. Dapat, pag mali talaga kayo, tanggapin yung mali kayo. Pero kung tama kayo, boss, celebration must be happen. So I think you're ready. Select a 5-digit numbers within your group, okay? Don't change it. Do you have your board? Wala, hindi ko pala nasabi. All you need to do is to have an extra sheet, clean paper, of course. Take some, get an extra sheet of paper. Lakihan yung numero, lakihan yung numero. At wag na wag nyo ibababa yon pag nakaganon na. Taas nyo, huwag nyo baguhin. Okay, hindi pa natapos yung group 3, yung mga napaka-harmony grupo. Hindi pa nila natapos. Okay. Itaas nyo na if you're done selecting your favorite number in just 5 digit only. Example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is a 5 digit. Therefore, you are selecting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And are you sure that 5 digits are the final result? It's grading. And what is our possible result? So I think we're done. I will start now picking numbers from this magic box. I'll open first and be prepared. Brace yourself. And okay. First sa 10. Huwag kayong kukurap at huwag niyong ibababa yung mga papel nyo. Huwag niyo akong lukuhin. Hindi niyo ako maluloko. Galing ako diyan. Ito yung unang kuha ko ng papel. Ito yung unang lumabas na numero. Number 7. My first pick number randomly is number 7. Oy, mayroon nakahula sa first digit ang number 2. Group 2. Yung may tama sila sa first digit. Ang tanong, kung tuloy-tuloy ba yan? Okay, ito yung first digit natin. 7. Klaro ba? 7. Klaro. Okay, yung mata nyo. Yung unang numero, 7. May nakakuha na yung group 2. Pangalawang bunot. Bubunutin ko na naman ito. Ito yung pangalawang bunot natin, class. Wala nung akong daya, hindi ko tinday yung box. I just only use my hand to pick our second digit. Number 9. Nako! Nakalin yung number 2, nagkasunod yung numero nila, Number 9. At saka yung group 3, second digit, may tama na sila. About group 3 and group 4, wala pa. Okay, yun ang pangalawa nating numero, okay? May pangatlo pang susunod. So, yung pangatlong napili. Excuse me po. Our third number is number 1. So this is our third digit number. Number 1. Okay, 791. Oy, natama rin sila sa wakas. Yung group 4, tama sila. 1. Yung pangatlong digit nila, 1. Pero yung nangungunang digit, yung dalawang digit, bali-bali. Okay. Ito yung pang-apat natin, class. Pang-apat na bunot ni Guro. Number 6. Tingnan nyo. Naku, wala sa inyo ang nakakuha. So, tingnan nyo, wala talaga to. Sayang naman, 6. Alam niyo na ang result. Wala sa inyo talagang nakatama. Bubunod na ni teacher ng isa rito. At saka, ipakita ang panghuling numerong nabunod, which is number 3. So, our sample space from this event, which is picking the numbers from 1 to 15 in 5 digits randomly. Our sample space from that event and that our experiment as well is 7. Our first digit, tama yung group 2. Second digit, number 9. Tama ulit yung group 9. At nakatama rin yung group 3. Pangatlong digit, number 1. Wala sa inyong nakakuha na. Number 6 at number 3. So, 7, 9, 1, 6, and 3. That is our final result. Wala sa inyo nakakuha. Kapag sa sa inyong apat na grupo, kapag nakakuha talaga kayo, may surprise or may prize akong ibibigay. Exempted kayo sa quiz natin ngayon. Pero, sa mga palad, unfortunately, among the 4 groups, you've never get a right number, which is the 5 digit selecting randomly. But don't worry, bawal na lang kayo sa quiz. Wala man sa inyo yung nakakuha nito, pero at least mayroon bang pag-asa mga students. But first I will explain, okay? This one is what we call, what I've said, sample space. Our outcome is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That is our outcome. Our outcomes. Through that selecting randomly, we found out that in selecting 5 digit, this is our result. These are the results from among the 15 numbers. So did you understand now what is experiment? Our experiment is picking a numbers from the box. Picking a numbers from the box with 1 to 15 numbers in just 5 digit. Randomly. Pipili ka lang ng 5 numero, bubunutin mo yung numero sa box na hindi ka nakatingin at tingnan mo, yun na ang resulta. Yun ang ating event at saka experiment. Ulitin ko, ito yun ang ating experiment, students. So now, as your quiz, before I will introduce your quiz, I'll have a question first. So, how can you incorporate the financial literacy? How can you incorporate the probability from the financial literacy? So, do you have an idea? Sino ba yung magiging future businessman nito or marunong mag-budget? Financial literacy, yung kasali na doon ng pagbabudget, pagtitipid mo, paano mo gagastusin yung pera, saan dapat ito pupunta, saan dapat ito nakalaan. Yun ang mga example ng mga financial literacy. Who can give an idea? Okay, Mr. Juan. Yes, very good. You already know the meaning of probability. Probability, you are expecting that, or it seems like you're targeting that to be happening. And also to financial literacy. Kailangan mo budget kasi mayroon kang nagastusin. Kasi inaakala mo, you presume that would be happen. Inaakala mo na mangyari yan sa pamamagitan ng pagbabudget mo at mabibili mo yan na klaseng bagay na yan. I-incorporate na natin yung probability sa financial literacy. Na ang probability ay malaking tulong pala at ma-apply pala natin ito sa pagbabudget. Na something you are thinking that ito lang yun ang dapat at ito lang yun din dapat. Dito ka lang at dito ka lang. Yun. Na-incorporate na natin. So, what have you learned in this discussion class? What have you learned in this discussion? What have you learned in this discussion? Miss Dinas. Oh yes, thank you, Miss Dinas. Thank you. And now, I think you really understand our discussion. And I presume that you can answer this quiz. All you need to do is to get one whole sheet of paper. Write your name, of course. Ito na yung pag-asang babawi kayo. Dahil sa ating mga activity, wala sa inyo talagang nakatama. Ito, bibigyan nyo kayo ng 100 points kapag nakatama kayo lahat. So, Tapos na kayo kumuha ng 1 sheet of paper, ipakilala ko na ang ating activity. Ay, ang ating quiz pala. Sorry. So, our quiz. So, direction. I will read the direction. All you need to do is to complete the table by supplying the correct outcome, sample space, and event for each experiment given. So, this is your quiz. All you need to do is you already have an experiment, tossing of 3 coins, spinning a wheel with letters A to H, doing a card from a deck of black cards only, and we have outcome, which is you will need to find the outcome from the tossing of 3 coins, sample space, and event. Okay, may batas ako sa pagsasagot nito. Ayaw kong nakikita kayong tumitingin kahit saan-saan. All you need to do is to have focus on your papers. Okay? You should have a focus with your papers. I don't want to see your heads like a giraffe looking anywhere, looking up. Basta, ang ganun, ayaw. Kapag nakikita kong kayo na ganun, pupunin kong papel nyo. Bibigyan ko kayo ng 0. Wala nang removal. Sa exam na lang tayo magkikita. Okay? Do I myself clear? Okay, very good. Thank you. So, let's begin. You have 5 minutes to fulfill this. Tahimik ka. Hindi ba makita? Sana makita nyo to. Tingnan nyo ng maigi. Pwede kayo lumapit at picturean nyo lang ha. Pwede nyo picturean. We have 3 minutes to go. Wala talaga nakatama sa inyo sa touchscreen natin kanina. Sana bigyan kapag sino yung nakatama rito, bibigyan ko sana ng 20 points. Bonus na yun, di ba? Wala talaga kayong tama rito. Kinalin. Bawal na lang kayo next live. Hanapin nyo lang ulit na yung outcome. Time make, Mr. Juan. Huwag kang maingay dyan, Mr. Juan. Kunin mo yung papel mo dyan. Ano bang outcome natin dito? 3 points. Sample space. Ano sample space of floating table? Imagine lang. Imagine lang ganyan. Alam nyo na. You really know what is event. Parang bonus na itong event nito yung ditong kulong. Bonus na to. 2 minutes to go. Janisen, anong ginagawa mo dyan, Janisen? Bakit matayo-tayo na yung liig mo Para ka ng giraffe. Warning ka, warning. Juan, warning na din. Napaka-bihib ni Tamulmul parang alam na alam niya talaga yung sagot. Focus na focus. Laro pa ng coins. Experiment ka dyan, Tamulmul. Picturean nyo. Para kayo gumamit ng cellphone or what else. Basta hindi kayo magtitingin-tingin sa papel lang yung kasa. Okay? Aaron. Anong ginagawa mo dyan, Aaron? Wala kang papel, Aaron? Mayroon naman pala. Bakit ka nang kuwit ka ng kasama mo dyan? Sana kayo. Okay, dito na pala sa drawing a card from a deck of black cards. So, nakita nyo naman ito, di ba? Yung pagpapakilala ko sa expense. So, I think we're done. Can you pass your one whole sheet of paper? Finish or not finish? Pass it to me. Okay. Huwag mong anuhin, huwag mo. Thank you. Thank you, class. At ngayon, nasa akin na yung papel. Lahat ng sagot nyo rito, wala talagang mali. Bakit? Kasi, all you need to do is to guess what would be the possible outcome of tossing of 3 coins. You already know that tossing of 3 coins, that's what we've done a while ago, which is like this. Therefore, you only list all of this in outcome. If I already see it in the outcome, then you're perfect. Then, if the sample space, sample you are imagining, that will be your sample space, and I will show it that in your paper, then you're right. Then if you already have the event, then good. After all, walang kailangan mag-alala dito. Kasi lahat kayo tama. Kapag nakikita ko lang na sinulatan yung papel according to the direction, then perfect kayong lahat. Okay? So as your assignment, direction, I will introduce first the direction. So, in 7 days of living, list all activity you have done every day. And determine the common activity. Afterwards, find the probability of simple event as a group. So, as a group, kailangan yung hanapin yung mga common activity nyo just within yung group. Okay? So, kailangan nyo talaga mag-socialize nito para malaman yung ito pala yung magkapareho pala tayo pare. Ganun. Okay, i-grupo kayo in just 4 groups. So, yung grupo nyo kanina, yung group 1, yung group 2, yung group 3. I love the group 3 because their way of doing a yells is very impressive, but doesn't mean that I favor them, but I'm just appreciate their effort while they say a yells. Okay, group 4, that's the last group. Yung group mo na yun ay yun ang group na magsasagot nitong assignment natin at ipapasa nyo ito ngayong Monday. Okay, ito ang format na table. Ito ang format ng table. Number of days. Of course, we have a number of days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hindi na ako marunong magbilang ha. And the second column, which is we have members activity. Of course, kailangan nyo talaga ng members of activity. Individual. Kung in just 7 days, kolektahin nyo lahat. Bawat isa mayroong ganito, okay? Bawat isa mayroong ganito. Members of activity, lagyan nyo dyan, anong ginagawa mo, lagay mo, individual lang, dapat meron kayo nito. And then sa common activity, of course, individual din kayo, i-list nyo. Pero, ilalagay nyo yan sa portfolio para magkakaroon tayo ng informative information so that I can determine na ito pala yung common nila. Within the group, ito pala common nyo. Activity na ginagawa ni Juan in just 7 days, members activity, individual yan, di ba? Makikilala ko kayo kung ano ba talaga yung mga ginagawa nyo in just 7 days. One week. So, ililista nyo yan. Ilalagay nyo yan sa portfolio kung sino man yung napaka-informative, napaka-linaw, vivid information, then hindi ako magdadalawang isip na bibigyan ko kayo ng 100 puntos. Do I myself clear? Kailangan nyo talaga maging creative. Gagamitin nyo lahat kung paano ipag-komunikasyon, socialize. Of course, you need socialization of this. Tanongin nyo, ano ba, pares ba tayo? Ano ba, activity mo? Kailangan nyo magkakaroon ng pulong-pulong meeting or conference. So, para magkakaroon din ng mga informative information. So, I think nagkakaintindihan naman tayo rito. Ngayon, ito lang yung assignment natin. I-send ko na lang yung category, yung rubrics, pero you already know the rubrics that I want an informative information from your group and very artistic design of your portfolio. Ayaw ko yung putyo-putyo. Okay lang yung putyo-putyo. Basta yung content ng inyong uh, members activity and common activity is very informative. Bibigyan ko kayo ng halimbawa para maintindihan nyo. Example, ilalagay nyo pangalan, lahat yan, nakalista lahat yan ng members activity, sunod yung common activity naman. Lalagyan na introductory, bahala na kayo. Basta at least makikita ko yung mga members activity nyo at yung common activity nyo. So, I think dito nagtatapos ang ating discussion. So, I would like to thank you all for your cooperation, and, of course, teamwork. So, before I leave in this class, let us stand. So, let's have a prayer. And then the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Dear God, thank you for the session that we end peacefully and harmony. And I hope that these students will provide them what they want and protect us for what we are doing in daily life. Amen. And then the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Goodbye, class. Okay, thank you. See you on Monday. Huwag niyong kalimutan, keep safe.